Well, going everyone, Sarada Uchiha here. Welcome back to the channel where today we'll be talking about Boruto Manga chapter 42. And honestly, you know what sucks for me is just that anytime these chapters drop for the last, I don't know, 4 or 6 months, I'm literally at work. So that's a suckish part for me. But anyway, getting into it, chapter 42 of the Boruto manga entitled Regeneration. Hopefully you guys have already read the chapter, and yeah, of course this is coming out late because it's been a hectic day and all that jazz and blues. But yo, the chapter was like, I'm tired of saying this. Well, I'm not really, but the chapter was solid. Honestly, very solid. We continue the teamwork and the strategy and the whole passing of the torch for the new Team 7. The passing of the torch for them to be the ones carrying the series. As I keep saying, as I've been saying for the longest while in these past few videos. But yeah, like, first impressions, definitely a solid chapter. The ending, personally speaking, the ending with Sarada, I had you know saw some spoilers already from yesterday or the day before the chapter dropped, and still, even reading the chapter, it was still pretty exciting seeing Sarada pull off the Shidori. It would have been better if I didn't know the spoilers, but you know, it is what it is. But getting right into it, be sure to rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the chapter and this review after you finish watching it, and let's get into it. So chapter 42 for the Boruto manga continues off where chapter 41 left off immediately, where we see Boro heading for the containment seal for Naruto. But of course, it's just a ploy to lead Team 7 into a trap where he actually sets up his virus again, along with some gunpowder, leading Kawaki into a trap. Of course, this leads to Boro commenting on how Kawaki has changed, and rightfully so. We've seen a decent amount of development for Kawaki over the course of chapters about 27 to up until this point, so Boro is justified in what he's saying. Of course, Boro mentioned something, well, I believe this was already established in about chapter 40 or so, or 41, last chapter, that the plan is to actually capture and bring back both Kawaki and Boruto. So, you know, Boruto's not being left out of the spotlight for the most part, which is good. But I think the thing I really like about this chapter is that Sarada herself is the MVP of the chapter, no matter how you slice and dice it. Because at the end of the day, Boruto and Kawaki, these are characters that they definitely have a solid future in terms of how much screen time and their importance that they'll have. But this chapter kind of reminds us that, yo, despite those two having the spotlight, similar to how Naruto and Sasuke had the spotlight for the most part back in Naruto, the writer Kodachi keeps reminding us that, yo, his execution and Kishimoto's execution is totally different. This is a different Team 7 where everybody has utility, everybody has purpose, and will be getting a decent amount of screen time. And just the whole, you know, contrast between this Team 7 and the old Team 7 is, it's worlds apart. Honestly, it's very balanced, and we got a lot of that in chapter 41, but getting even more of that in this chapter was a plus, honestly. So we continue with the team actually going up against Boro, trying to overcome his regeneration, which is, as I've established in the last review, it's on par, if not better, than the Ten Tails Jinchuriki. These scientific ninja weapons, crazy. Honestly, crazy. So as the fight's going on and our Team 7, their members are exhausting their chakra, eventually we get to the point where Kawaki comes up with a plan, and he basically says that Amado, based on his technical skills, they have their limits essentially. So the more powerful the scientific ninja weapon, apparently the bigger the weapon has to be. So he deduces that Boro must have a core that's responsible for his regeneration, and he leaves it to Sarada to use her Sharingan to deduce and pinpoint where his core is, which makes perfect sense. Now, I really like that aspect of the chapter because at the end of the day, this guy has some ridiculous regenerative ability. If he didn't have some kind of consequence or weakness to it, then it doesn't make it interesting, if you get what I mean. It kind of goes back all to the point where I'm saying that the whole use of technology and scientific ninja weapons overall, it kind of forces the characters. It brings back the spectacle that the end of Shippuden had back down to earth, and brings back the strategy and the tactics. And Boro having that weakness emphasizes this point, is what I'm saying essentially, because even though Sarada was able to pinpoint the core, we see in the chapter that she's a damn smart girl, honestly. And the fact that she decided or deduced or made a decision that, okay, it doesn't really make sense for me to alert the rest of the team. I gotta kind of figure this out myself, because if I alert the rest of the team, it's gonna put the enemy in a more advantageous situation to move the core. So we see her decide that, okay, she's gonna try a move. She needs to basically try a move that allows her to move faster than Boro can weave hand signs, and it's at this point that we get the Shidori. That was wild, and the chapter ends right there. For the most part, definitely a better ending than last chapter. My main gripe with the last chapter was the ending felt very abrupt, very sudden. This chapter, I loved where it ended, honestly, and this chapter just really hammered home that Sarada Uchiha is going to be a character to look out for, and that her potential and just the trust that I think the fan base has in her is warranted. Like, if you like Sarada Uchiha, nobody could blame you, honestly. I know I have friends that who probably hated Sasuke back in the day, but funny enough, they like his daughter. Pause. So yeah, so the strategy and just the credibility given to Sarada's craft in terms of her capability as a ninja, as a person that's striving to be Hokage, it was really on show for this chapter, and just the tactics that went into actually deciding how to handle Boro in this chapter, it was great. And like I said last chapter as well, the fact that every member of it's a balanced team, everybody has purpose, has use. It's not like Naruto and Sasuke carrying the team and then Sakura is just So yeah, it was definitely a fun chapter. Pacing was great. Introducing some consequences to the scientific ninja weapons that Boro is using was pretty solid move, because if he didn't have a weakness, boy, it would have just ridiculous. Honestly, it would have just it wouldn't have allowed us to get the tactics and the deduction based skills that we see Sarada employing this chapter. It would have been harder to really set something like that up. So the decision to have that weakness, to say that the bigger or the more powerful the scientific ninja weapon, the bigger the weapon must be, so of course it must be a core. So, and kudos goes to Kawaki. He's definitely the second highest rated character in this chapter for me. Of course, Mitsuki and Boruto played their part. They still had to stall and take a beating from Boro, so it's bad and not so bad on their part, so I can't take that away from them either. But Sarada Uchiha, definitely MVP of the chapter, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how the next chapter is going to go. I think it's safe to say it's a good point to end the fight against Boro. Anything that we might get for chapter 43, I'm just hoping that it's just wrapping up, honestly. Probably somebody else from Kara comes and they decide they push the plot from there. So yeah, and hopefully by that time, in my expectations, I keep saying that I really want to see the Konoha ninja come back into the story. So I think having the fight against Boro end here would be good. Somebody needs to come and kind of pick up the current members of Team 7, if I'm being honest. So yeah, but all in all, definitely another solid chapter, honestly. And it just kind of makes me wish that the anime for Boruto hadn't started yet. Like, probably if it was starting this year, would have been good, if I'm telling the truth, because we've had some moments of gold in the Boruto anime, but it would be better if Boruto the anime was looked on, if it could get more ratings. Honestly, I would imagine it's doing good in ratings in Japan, but that's not what I'm talking about. The overall quality. At the end of the day, if you're looking at like anime awards, there's no way you can expect to see the Boruto anime in any like top 10s or any recent awards that would have ended from 2019 for good reason, obviously. So if the Boruto anime had started like way later, and they could have started like adapting some of this material, and it was more streamlined. Yo, trust me, Boruto would get a lot more push. But in the coming months, the coming years, trust me, when things heat up for the anime, once they start adapting all of this, trust me, Boruto is going to take off crazily. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the chapter. Of course, leave a like if you enjoyed my little review slash discussion on it. Sorry for being late again, as I said, I was at work, so yeah. Yeah, I think that's all I have to this one. The pacing, the art was good, the choreography definitely solid. Just, you know, utilizing characters, a wide range of characters, that's what I want, and I got it with this chapter. Sarada Uchiha, yeah, she's got it. She's got it. Of course, I know people might say like when she learned the Chidori, of course, there's a lot of materials left, right, and center in the Boruto era in terms of people might be keeping up with, ranging from the novels, the anime, the manga, stuff like that. So her learning the shirt and knowing the Chidori, it's not really a problem. They could easily rectify by saying, yeah, she learned it in a novel. I'm pretty sure she might have learned it in a novel or something. So yeah, but anyway, Sarada Uchiha, let me know what you think. Of course, look out for my review of Dragon Ball Super manga chapter 56 that should be coming up probably if not a day after this, probably 8 to 12 hours after this, give or take. So yeah, but anyway, Sarada Uchiha, I'll see you guys in the next one.